Today is an exciting day for all of us. The reason that it's exciting is that up to this point, all of the programs that we've built lose all of their data every time they stop running. And that's kind of lame in the whole scheme of things, right? Can you imagine if you were using Microsoft Word and you're 8 pages into a 10-page essay and you stop to go get dinner, or you have a power outage and your computer shuts off and you lose all your data because you don't have the ability to save anything? That would be kind of dumb, right? Or can you imagine Facebook? How many people would use Facebook or Instagram or Threads or any of those if every time you used the program, you had to create a new profile, retrain the algorithm and everything every time you log in? New profile, new account, because it wasn't saving any information, right? The stuff that we take for granted about computers a lot of the time is that they save. We have the ability to save what we're doing. And most productive video games or programs or anything that we do, we rely pretty heavily upon saving. Now, I remember the good old days of video games when you used to have to start back at the very first level of Super Mario Brothers every time you play it, right? That's kind of the point of those games. But now, you've got games that take 60 hours to complete. Nobody's going to stay awake for 60 straight hours and complete a whole game, right? You have the ability to save, so you can play for an hour at a time or 2 hours if you have that kind of time on your hands. And then you go away and you can come back the next day and play a little bit more and chip away at things. That's just a normal expectation for today's society. But so far, none of our programs have the ability to do that. Now, luckily, our programs have been pretty simple, pretty basic. We kind of maybe got a taste of how annoying this could be when we were working with the ATM simulator, right? The ATM simulator simply is not realistic because every time we start the program, it goes back to whatever those starting balances are, and we just go from there. That's not realistic. Otherwise, we would all have infinite cash in the bank, right? You just go in, log in, withdraw the money, and log out. You log back in, and that money's back in there. That would be nice, but not so nice for the bank. So, in order for us to actually do something useful in the longer term, in the bigger scheme of things, we have to be able to save. And along with being able to save information, being able to read information from an external source is kind of a nice thing to do. Now, we talked about the email extractor, right? Where we take some text and we're able to pull email addresses out of it. But that's only useful right now if we have the text that we can just sort of put into the code of our program as a variable. Or maybe if we can copy and paste that from some other source into an input prompt, we could use it that way. But in order for that email program to be very useful, wouldn't it be nice if it could just go out and grab text from the web? Just grab web pages out there and scan them for emails. That's what the people behind all of our favorite spam emails do, right? They have programs that are trained to spider the web and look for those email addresses. So working with files has all kinds of benefits, saving and reading other data sources and all kinds of things. So working with files is a pretty big deal. Let's get into it.